Most good things take a lot of time, and it's hard to know if you're going in the right direction or not because the fruits of your labor take time to grow. And there was something that I was taught that I do on a day-to-day basis that allows me to check if I'm going in the right path or not. We're going to go through how you can do it as well. First of all, my name's RK. I help young aspiring creators monetize their craft in a fulfilling way. If that's something you're interested in, I'd love to have a chat with you. Scroll down and click on the first link down below. So first of all, we need to break some limiting beliefs. I want you to ask yourself this question. Is there someone like me out there at my age with my demographic that looks like me that's doing the things that I want to do? So for me, I would ask myself, is there someone who has immigrated from a Southeast Asian country, grew up here, and is doing big things in the creative industry right now? I can think of so many people off the top of my head that I do look up to, people that I've worked with, people that I collaborate with. So if there are people out there that are killing it, why can't that person be you? The only reason that you are not that person right now that you want to be is because you need to understand that there is a difference between your present self and there is a difference between your future self. You and your future self are not the same person. I really like this concept because I'm living the benefits and the repercussions of my past self's actions. So think about it, right? You're going to the gym, you're trying to build muscle, you do the reps on a day-to-day basis. You go in, you do 10, 15 hard reps. You don't see that growth immediately. It's for your future self. So whatever benefits that you have right now, your past self worked on so that you can enjoy those things. So ask yourself, whatever you did today on a day-to-day basis, would your future self, if they could see you right now, would they be like, thank you so much for the effort that you're putting in. Thank you so much for the work that you're putting in so that I can reap the benefits? Or would they look at you and be like, you are so selfish for taking away the things that I could have been, that we could have been in the future because you wanted that instant gratification now? So this is the metric that you need to use to understand if you are going to make it or not. Would your future self look at what you're doing right now? Would they be grateful for what you're doing? Or would they think that you're being selfish? But when we do this, there's this whole trap of progress. We think progress is what we need to get better, but we don't understand that is the progress that we're doing right now, is it going to get us to the things that we want, at least in our lifetimes? Trap of progress is that we might not actually be working towards the things at the rate that we need to in order to reap the benefits of the things that we're doing in our lifetime, which is quite scary, right? So an example of this would be if I wanted to achieve aesthetic, muscular physique. So I do one push-up a week and I call it a day. And then the next week I do 2 push-ups and I call it a day. Can you see how it is progress, right? At the end of the year, I'm going to be doing 52 push-ups. That's amazing. Can we see if that's something that we really want? We're not working hard to get it. That's a trap of progress. You need to ask yourself, what are the goals that you have? And you need to define them clearly. You need to ask yourself, what do I need to do in order for it to be unreasonable for me to not reap the benefits of the work that I'm doing in the time frame that I want to? And then thirdly, you got to get to work. You got to make sure that your future self can look back at you and be grateful and not look back at you with regret. Oh, so this was so inspirational. We're going to get on the grind. We're going to push our emotions aside, do the hard work, especially when we don't feel like it. You know what? You can do all of this. You are going to get to where you want to get, living this really, really imbalanced lifestyle, which is what's been promoted by everyone, right? But a very, very smart person, what they told me is when you get to the things that you want and you have that liberty to take your foot off the gas pedal a little and cruise, you're just going to fall back to where you were before because you haven't allowed yourself to grow, deal with your emotions, and mature from the person that you were before. The person you are right now is not the person that you need to be in order to maintain and keep all the success that you want. There is so much that you need to change in your personality. There's so much that you need to change in your self-image. There are so many emotions that you have to deal with and face and know how to cope with in order to, when you do get to the stage that you want to get to, you don't fall back down to where you were now, again, because you don't know how to deal with your own self. A very, very smart person told me that humans are emotions. This is just a vessel that I'm living in, a physical vehicle for my soul and for my brain to live in. And if I negate who I am as a person and I don't have the time to sit down and really deal with the things that I need to deal with, and I repress everything, when I get to a stage where I do get everything that I want and I can take my foot off the gas pedal and I do need to deal with myself as a person, I'm not going to be able to do that effectively. I'm just going to fall back to where I was before. It is very important to make your future self proud. It is very important to put in the work, especially when you don't feel like it. But it is also very, very important, something that most big people don't say nowadays, is very important to allow yourself to feel the emotions that you are feeling and not repressing anything. It's always work hard, play hard, finish your work and then stimulate yourself, distract yourself from yourself. But sometimes you just need to sit down and allow yourself to feel the things that you need to feel. Whether that be you wake up in the morning, you have this work that you've set yourself to do, but you feel sad. For some reason, you just feel blue. You do the work, and then you allow yourself in whatever way that you need to feel that emotion. You can go play basketball with your friends. You can listen to music that helps you feel a certain way. But if you're not going to allow yourself to deal with the things that you need to deal with and you're going to repress these emotions, again, when you get to the point where you do get to all the things that you want, you will get all the things that you want if you do follow this advice. But you're not going to be able to deal with the person you are because you have so many repressed emotions that you haven't dealt with. This is kind of like faking it till you make it, right? Choose the type of human being that you want to be, the character that you want to play. This is a good exercise if you want to do this physically. You write down I am at the top. Write down all the categories in your life that mean something to you and have space to write in each of those categories, right? So it would be lifestyle, it could be family, it could be financial, it could be health-wise. And then imagine you, when you get all the things that you want, what would you then write in these categories? Starting with I am. I am someone who, if this is to do with health and fitness, this could be I am someone who at an older age can still play with their grandchildren, still is mobile, still has full body control. And if this is something to do with finances, you could write, I am someone who works on my own time. I am someone who can provide for my family. What would you in the future, what would your ideal self in the future write in these different boxes? And then think to yourself, these are the behaviors that you need to become this person that you want to be. Most of the time, a lot of our discontent comes from not understanding that we have all the things that we want. We just want them on a larger scale. Yes, you want to get money to help your family because that comes from the inherent fact that you want to help your family. There are things that you can do right now that you might not be doing to help your family. You need to understand the behaviors that this type of person has that you want to be and you need to act on them. If one of the things that you wrote down is, I am someone who prioritizes my family over work, is that something that you're doing now? Are you taking time out of your work to spend time just for your family? There are so many behaviors that you need to start doing to change your self-image to be the person that you want to be. You have everything that you need already most of the time. 90% of the things you have already. You just want them at a bigger scale. But you're not going to get them at a bigger scale if you don't change who you are as a person. To change your self-image, all you have to do is think about what are you not doing that you want to change? Make a promise to yourself and then build proof. So this could be, I am someone who works hard to achieve my goals. That could be something that you want for yourself, a behavior that you want for yourself. And then the proof that you will need to accumulate over the days is showing to yourself that you are someone who has made this promise that you will work hard and you are going to work towards it. So day 1, you put an extra hour into the work that you do. Day 2, you tell your friends that I'm going to take a break from playing this video game. Instead, I'm going to do some work. My proof right now is that I have spent 25 days every single day. I have posted a video that provides value and content, and I'm trying my best to improve every single video. That's proof to myself that I work hard towards the things that I want to do. To change the way people perceive you, you need to change the way that you perceive yourself. Something that we all struggle with is on this path, you can get into times where you are quite desperate. And desperation is probably one of the worst energies that you can put out. It's so draining. People are desperate in all forms of their life, in their relationships, in business, in success. It comes out of fear, which is valid, impatience, and just a lack of trust in the process. They don't know if they're going in the right direction. They don't know if the work that they're putting is going to pay off. They're working so hard on these things, and they just haven't seen the proof that they need to see in order to know that this is going to lead me somewhere. I feel like understanding this symbiosis between yourself now and your future self and how they're two different people can really help alleviate some of the fear and lack of trust on the process that causes this desperation, especially because I'm a small content creator that is trying to provide you value. I want to be seen. I want to help you. Let me show you. I checked my stats on my phone and I saw that I picked up my phone on average 51 times a day, and 41 times out of those 51 times, the first thing that I opened was YouTube Studio to see if my videos are having some traction. It just drains you so much. Just ask yourself, is your future self proud of the work that you're putting in? My answer is right now, yes. Then trust the process. Just because the fruits of your labor are delayed doesn't mean they're denied. Doesn't mean they're not going to grow at all. I just have to grow a little more. There are things that I still haven't been tested on, and there are more things that I need to prove to myself before I can reap the fruits of my labor. And I'm completely fine with that. I'm glad that I could catch myself doing that, and I'm glad that I could put in the effort to try and work on it. And another thing that you can do that would have helped me when I was younger is don't judge yourself on where you are right now. Think about where you were before. I used to do this class called statistics at university when I started, and there was this group of guys that I became quite close with, and this is the time where I was doing calisthenics outside because the weather was quite nice, right? And we would all go, we had this routine, finish statistics, and we would all hype each other up. We would go to the outdoor gym, we would do a calisthenics workout, and then we would get food. After we were all tired, we'll all get food, and we'll have a nice conversation with each other, and then we'll go on with our day. It was something that I looked forward to every single week. There was this guy named Zach that we invited to come to one of our outdoor workouts, and he came with us and he was just playing around, and he was like, let me try and do a muscle up. And I was like, bro, you're not going to be able to do a muscle up. What a muscle up is you have to do a pull up and then you have to pull yourself up and then push yourself down. It's quite a hard move that it takes a while, and we were all training towards it as a group. And he comes and he gets it in like 2 or 3 tries. And I just think to myself, me and my friends have been working out for the last 2 months together, and we're nowhere close to this guy and what he just did. And it was quite disappointing. It was a hit to my ego. And I just want you to think, if you knew where I was before, so 2 months before this, before when we just started working out, I couldn't even do a push-up. I couldn't hang on the pull-up bar for more than 10 seconds without my forearms literally giving up. And we all trained together, and we got to a point where we could all do 6 pull-ups, we could all do handstand to a decent extent, and we could all do push-ups together. We all enjoyed and had so much fun doing it. And looking back, I just really wish that I couldn't have been so hard on myself and just told myself, look where you were and where you are now. You are going to get to the places that you want to get if you just keep working. Why is someone else's achievements a metric of how much work that you've put in right now? That's why you shouldn't judge yourself on where you are, but judge yourself on where you were and really be grateful for the progress that you've put in. Make sure that your future self is proud of what you're doing right now. Take your time and don't be desperate, because you're going to look back at these days that you do put in the work and you do set up this life for your future self, and you're going to look back with so much gratitude and so much fondness, and just really be in the present right now. If you like the things I'm talking about, I'd love to have a conversation with you. It's the first link down below. Click here and watch why you don't need to use a lot of brain power to become successful. Thank you very much.